Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Actuarial. And today we are going to study this topic: what happens when the term of an endowment product is extended or altered. Right. So this is a question that from the Blue Dragon Universe page of LinkedIn we have posted. Now, by the way, if you have not kind of liked the Blue Dragon Universe page, all these videos and maybe any update related to the course would come from Blue Dragon Universe page and not from my LinkedIn profile like it used to happen, because I want to reduce my posting in LinkedIn. And also for stock market related post, if you are kind of following me, then you have to follow me kind of in blue underscore dragon underscore YT, right? So that is my Twitter handle or X handle, right? Whatever they call it, right? I am enjoying Twitter at the moment. Really, it's funny and also informative, and there's so many news that are getting shared there. So you can follow me there. So I'll slowly and steadily I'll reduce my LinkedIn posting, and it will only be to related to topics in which I feel very strongly about, right? And also we are trying to build the corporate structure in Blue Dragon Universe. So instead of posting or messaging me directly, just comment on the page, grow the page, visit the website, bluedragonuniverse.in, go to the contact us section, mail there, message there, right? So that other people also can get involved, right? And I'm also inclined to build that structure, so that we have that corporate structure, so that maybe later on, maybe 1 year down the line, if we start hiring, then we have those structure built in place, right? So I hope that you will be able to help me in that regard. Now, moving on. So this is the question that was kind of asked, and only 21 people voted, because I always have this complaint that people are more interested in the side topic and not in the knowledge topic. Once again, you can see this. Had this been a question about whether the salary for actual freshers should increase, there will be 9,000 vote here. Anyways, so most people has kind of said premium will decrease, right? And here I have also made a comment that this is the question. Like, if you can think over this question, if you are studying SP2 or SA2 or whatever, if you are a fellow, and if the answer to this question in a holistical manner is clear to you, then you are an actuary. Otherwise, you are just a paper actuary. And once again, I'd like to kind of congratulate and appreciate the message made by, or the post, comment made by Chirag, that he mentioned that the term is increased. So the mortality company has to pay death benefit for a longer period of time, which is more risky, as in the mortality later years will be high. And that's why. So he basically mentioned that the risk for the company will increase because there is higher mortality risk, and so the premium would increase, right? Whether it is correct or incorrect, that's a separate thing. First of all, I'd like to appreciate Chirag for two things. First of all, it took guts to kind of comment, because everyone can judge you, right? And we are just every second of our life. It's just that we don't realize that. And if you are kind of afraid of being judged, then especially in actuary, it's not the field for you, because every time you'll be judged by your manager, you'll judged by your juniors, your seniors, right? Even your parents will judge you for not clearing papers. So we are being judged every time. Even the marks that you are getting in actual paper, that is also someone else's judgment on us. So we are being judged every time. And first of all, a tremendous round of appreciation for Chirag for answering this question, and making his opinion public, because it take a lot of guts to do so. And trust me, there are many people who message me saying that, hey, your video helped me. I got a job because of you. And whenever I ask them, can you come for an maybe a YouTube session to discuss how you got the job, what you have not done before, and what you have done after I interacted with you, so that you got the job. They are very unwilling to do so, because they are afraid of public speaking and everything. So that's where I think Chirag is has broken that shackle, first of all. And there are 21 votes still. None of them, and I actually precisely mentioned in this post, or my team actually mentioned that, write your comment, and nobody has commented other than Chirag. So also for reading the instruction and kind of complying with the instruction, that is also something which is very good. Very often these days I often get questions, and for maybe from related to some course or everything, and most of the time people has not gone through the instruction, right? Like, people ask me how many papers in SA7 will be covered, and I have kind of given that six. It's written in the course description, 6 papers will be covered, analysis of that. And I still get that question. So that means that people have not read it, right? Many questions are kind of like from spoon feeding questions, right? Where people just ask, "Can you tell me more about actually?" without doing something else. So people are not willing to go that, willing to do their research. So that is where I would like to appreciate Chirag for following the instruction and for having the guts to kind of reply to this question. A tremendous acknowledge from my side. And my marketing partner was kind of saying that, can we give something to this person to comments? I don't want to monetize this so that I'll pay some money and someone will kind of write comment. I don't think that is the right way to go about it. But that's why I every time I ask this sort of question, if someone post, I'll personally kind of appreciate that person in the video. And yeah, that's it. So moving on. So first of all, this the poll is actually correct, and unfortunately, Chirag, in this case, you are not correct. We'll go through the reason, right? So the premium will decrease. That is a correct answer. Now the reason is why. You can also guess and write an answer. So how you are probably thinking, and probably if you are appearing for SP2 paper or maybe SA2 paper, this is the sort of thought process that you have to kind of display, the holistic thought process, right? That's the difference between someone who is working and someone who has just cleared papers. So you will understand the course of this presentation. First of all, can the term of an endowment be extended in like that? Like, for example, you are fourth year in your endowment policy, you have purchased a policy 4 year back, and now you want to extend the product, right? So it can be extended given there is a terms and condition provision for that, right? And it is called alteration, right? So first of all, the answer to this question is called yes, right? You can do that, and it is called alteration. Many policies may not allow you to do that because it is not present in the terms and condition. But if it is present in a terms and condition, there should be some guideline regarding on which time period you can do that. Maybe 5 years down the line, maybe 15 years down the line, you can do that, right? So the company also reduces their risk by doing that. But yes, in this case, it can be done, and it is called alteration of policies. Like, it is almost equivalent to like buying a new policy. It's almost like you have one policy in which is like the previous one, and it is kind of you are kind of purchasing another policy from that point of time with the similar sum assured, right? Because in this case, you are not changing the sum assured. You can, by the way, you can also change the sum assured. You can also convert your policy from endowment to term, right, or endowment to whole life. There are so many things that you can do, right? Alteration has to be kind of allowed by the terms and condition of the policy, right? So it is like buying a new policy. It's like buying a new policy, right? So features of an endowment. Now this you have to kind of, obviously probably you already know this, but if you don't know this, then you have to kind of, this will probably refresh your memory, and my rest of the answer is kind of based on this. So I'm not talking about pure endowment in this case, right? So this is like normal endowment, and in endowment you pay either maturity benefit or death benefit, right? Either or, right? You cannot pay both. So if the term of the endowment is for say 20 years, then if a person survive 20 years, the person will get maturity benefit. If the person dies within that 20 years, the person will get death benefit. Usually both these benefits are same. Now, so insurer have to pay, right? Insurer has to pay. Either it's maturity or it's death. So it's just a question of when you are paying. This when you are paying is very important, right? Because insurer know whenever they have sold a policy which is endowment, the insurer has to pay. It's just the question of when you are paying, right? That is important for endowment. That may not be true for other products. For example, for term product, it may not be true. But today's session is not on term product. The next session will be on term product. So today we are considering on when you are paying, right? Now, the late you have to pay as an insurer, the late you have to pay, the higher would be the investment income, because you are, for example, if you, even if you put your money, the premium in saving account, if you are paying, kind of repaying that to the policy at a later date, you are getting more interest, as simple as that. So you are getting higher investment income, and that means that is because of higher time value of money, right? Because endowment is a saving product, right? So in endowment, there is a there is a saving element, right? And it's like save, and it is called saving element because it is kind of similar to the saving account where we have kind of put our money, right? So that's how endowment kind of operates. That's how endowment kind of works, right? So that's it about endowment. And if you still have some difficulty in understanding, I made two videos. You can browse that. That is related to surrender value. Like, can surrender value be given in term product, right? I think there are two videos on that, and there I have mentioned this time value of money concept in extreme detail so that anyone can understand, right? So saving product has time value of money, and because of that, they can also provide surrender value. because there is some time value that you are capturing, right? And in this case, that time value will increase because you are having more opportunity to kind of invest, right? And that is kind of increasing. So risk of an endowment, the main risk here for endowment, because it is a saving product, right? It's not a protection product. The main risk is investment risk, followed by mortality risk, obviously, because it's an insurance product. So mortality, then it can be, lapse or surrender. And pardon the close of the bracket. I have not closed the bracket, so please ignore that. And finally, there will be expense risk. Now, it's investment and mortality can come in order. Expense or lapse, they can change the order depending on what sort of scenario is this. But usually, this should be the order, right? So lapse risk or withdrawal risk, you are only impacted in the early surrender. Obviously, there is a mortality risk, and the point that kind of Chirag has mentioned, right? So obviously, there is that mortality risk. The term increases, then there is some risk. So whenever you are writing or thinking from endowment, you have to think from this perspective in this order. You cannot change the order. You cannot put mortality risk on the top, thinking that endowment product mortality risk is high, like kind of Chirag has mentioned, right? Because mortality risk is not the primary risk. The primary risk here is the endowment risk, because insurer know they have to pay. It's either death benefit or mortality benefit. It's not the number of benefits that you are paying. It's about when you are paying. Whenever this when question comes, means it's related to time, because when time, right? And whenever time things come, then that means there is a time value of money associated. Whenever time value of money associated, it means investment is the main risk, because that's what you are on. Now, obviously, in investment, there are two types of risk. One is that how long you are kind of investing. Also, there is a reinvestment risk, right? And you can hedge against that risk, because you may not get all the premiums in single go, unless it is a single premium product. So today there might be a terms and condition in which you are kind of investing. Some days later there might be some another terms and condition in which you would be investing. In that way, it will continue, right? So finally, moving on, what happens to this risk if the term get extended, right? So if the term gets extended, investment risk, obviously insurer get higher time frame to earn more money, right? The time value increases. Obviously, the reinvestment risk also increases, right? There is also increase in risk, but if you can manage it, if you can hedge it, right? If your asset liability management is good, then that risk may not increase that much. However, your time frame to gain more money, because you are getting the same premium, you are getting, the sum assured is also same, so nothing else is changing, you are just increasing the term, right? And because of that, your time, the premium will be invested for longer period of time, right? So in that case, you have more opportunity to earn money, right? So that means the time value increases, right? And hence the risk reduces. This means that the time premium will be discounted more, right? Now, in this case, I am assuming a kind of a simplified example. Someone can also say that the premium, there might be more, there might be underwriting done at that stage, and then the premium might be. So I'm not considering that. I'm considering a situation where the premium, this is without any medical underwriting, right? So the premium will stay the same, and no matter how many times you increase, like maybe from 20 years you are increased by another 10 years, so the premium will stay the same and it will continue for the next 10 years, right? So it's not that your premium will stop at 20 years, right? So that is the example that I am considering. Now you can complicate this example, like I mentioned, like you have to do medical underwriting, or the premium will stop only after 20 years, right? You can do that, but I'm not considering that, right? So basically, the endowment policy is getting altered into itself with higher duration, right? That's the thing. There's just the term is getting extended, nothing else is changed. So obviously, the time value increases. This means that the premium would be discounted more. Earlier, the same premium was probably discounted for 20 years. Now, the same premium discounted for 30 years. The risk is not changing because everything else is same. Sum assured is same, right? So the remaining risks are kind of not changing, and we also see the remaining risk. But I mean, the premium, the cash flows are kind of the same. So the premium will be discounted more, which means that the premium will reduce because it will be discounted more. Discounting happens in the denominator, right? So that means the premium will reduce because the investment risk, this increasing the term, that goes in favor of the insurer, right? I hope that portion is clear. This is the main section, right? Because investment risk is the primary risk. Obviously, there is increase in reinvestment risk. Sorry, investment risk is the primary risk, but investment risk consists also of the reinvestment risk. Reinvestment increases, but that you can kind of hedge accordingly, especially if at a particular point of time the policyholder opts for that option, or the policyholder only have the option to opt for this sort of alteration at a particular point of time, then you are better prepared. You can change your hedging program. There might be some cost associated with that, so that is a risk. And but insurer will get more time to earn more in return, which is the time value of money, and hence that would mean that the risk of the insurer reduces, so that will automatically be reflected by premium being discounted more. That means that the premium will reduce, right? So first, risk, considering the first risk, once again, the holistic picture, the risk is reducing, so the premium will reduce. Let us consider the next risk. Next risk is mortality risk. Now, in this case, what Chirag has mentioned, the mortality risk will increase because the chance of death increases, right? Because the older you get, the higher the propensity you will die. But in endowment, insurer always anyways has to pay, like I mentioned. It's not that it's the insurer is kind of because of increasing the term, the insurer anyway had, even if the term would not be increased, the insurer had to pay maturity benefit. Is by increasing the term, insurer probably has to delay the payment of that maturity benefit, which is going back to that investment risk or higher time value of money. So that is actually beneficial for the insurer, because with time the reserve might increase. Reserve is automatically going to increase, not might. Reserve will increase because of our mortality. And if the company is keeping higher reserve than the sum assured, then on death benefit, the company will pay the death benefit, but the reserve will also released into the company's account or for company. So the reserve will be higher as compared to the death benefit. The company will make a profit out of it, right? So it's the later it happens, the better it is for endowment, because it is a question of, once again, when you are paying, right? So this is a profitable situation for the insurer once again, even in mortality risk. So I hope that is clear. Then lapse or withdrawal risk, right? So this I have already given a hint that insurer can suffer from early lapse if it happens early on. But once again, a person who is likely to kind of extend the term, he is not supposed to lapse early. Otherwise, there is no point of increasing the term, right? And if lapse happens at a later stage, then the asset share. Now, in this case, why I am not considering reserve? Why I am considering asset share, right? That is something that is discussed in SP2. I also released a video called Fundamentals of SP2, and you can also check that. And there multiple concepts are kind of covered, and that is also part of my SP2 course. So if till now you are not able to think in this manner and you have purchased someone else's course, I think you are doing a great disservice to yourself, because this is the knowledge that you need, right? And in that video I explained what are the, like, I think there are 30, that's a 30 minutes video, and if you go through the 30-minute video, then even if you have not studied anything in SP2, you can still attempt 30-40 marks in SP2 and would do good there. You cannot pass the exam because there is a pattern, right? And it will be too much of a stretch, but the knowledge, the entire knowledge of SP2 is kind of crystallized there. And I, in my course as well, I keep on reverting back to that, video or knowledge and explain that. So everything is kind of mentioned there. So if lapse happened early on, we need to consider, now whenever you talk about lapse, we need to consider asset share, because it is happening midway. Now at a later point of time, the asset share will grow to be a big amount, right? So once again, then if lapse happen, chances are if you are paying a surrender value, the asset share will be higher. The asset share will be released into the system. The surrender value would be given to the policyholder because the asset share is higher. The policyholder, the insurer will once again make profit, right? So insurer is only at risk from uh, early duration lapse, but once again, as a policyholder is extending term, this means that he or she lowers this risk, because early lapse will not happen, because otherwise, what is the point of increasing the term, right? So this risk also reduces. So out of the three risks that we have considered till now, all three risks reduces. That means the premium should reduce, right? Finally, the expense risk, of course, this risk increases because there is also effect of inflation, right? And with time, the expense also increases. And because there might be similar, like earlier, you are supposed to only have maintenance expense for 20 years. Now you have maintenance expense for 30 years, right? So that increases. The effect of inflation also amplifies that increase. So that means only one risk out of four risks increases, right? So this is a negative for insurer, right? But economies of scale may also help, right? If you have some automation, if you have outsourced your portion of your expense, that might also help, right? And with time, you might have that expertise, right? Like right now in my Blue Dragon universe, we are trying to get feedback, what people want, what people don't want, what people don't understand, right? What will sell, what will not sell. So because we are in the first year, whenever we are maybe in our third year, we don't need that feedback, right? We can go ahead. Of course, feedback will always be very important, but we know what the maybe what you like, right? What is making sense to you, and whether still there is a craze about papers, or you are more interested in knowledge this time. Whether knowledge-based course can be brought or given more importance as compared to paper-based course. So all of those things would be are the feedback, right? And with time, insurer will also have that knowledge, right? So economies of scale can help the insurer. So that is the final conclusion. What is the final conclusion? Three risks, including the main one, which is the investment risk, decreases, and one risk increases. So that would mean that the premium should decrease, right? So that's the final conclusion. The premium should decrease. Now, this is the answer for this one, right? And this is where the video ends. But what would happen for a term product? Would the same argument apply, or would the same argument not apply? Now, if you can think on that, in that manner, like if you can think of this, or like for example, if this question was asked in SP2 or SA2, and if you have given an answer like that, what do you think would happen? You probably would get 80-90% mark, because you are considering every risk, you are showing your structured thinking, and yeah, and you are attacking the problem from all direction. That is what you need to do as an actuary, to plan, to see all the scenarios, and put forward your conclusion depending on all the scenarios, right? That's what these exams are all about, right? So once again, if you are maybe for UK, the time is gone, but if you are maybe writing the exam from India, you can still register for SP2 course, and then we also have CP2, CP3, SA7, for example, also is there, right? So now, right now, there are 4 courses. You can visit bluedragonuniverse.in, and please like our LinkedIn page so that you get updates from there. This video will also be kind of posted there or updated there, so that people will be kind of knowing about that, right? So and please do not hesitate to follow the instruction and right answer, because if someone is judging you, it's their problem, and people will always judge you, right? So take the effort. Even if you are wrong, you will learn something in the process. uh, I can guarantee that if Chirag is watching this video, Chirag is never going to forget the answer, right? So then that is something that will crystallize, because he had used his brain to kind of come to the answer. Then he got the wrong answer. Now we know why his answer is wrong, and yeah, this will always stay with him, right? So yeah, that's it. And for the term video, I think the next week video will be on top, right? But if someone can maybe make a PPT on that, right, and send it to me, uh, I can give the credit to that person, right? But do not send that to me in LinkedIn through message, right? You can write in the comment section of YouTube, or maybe you can send us an email in the contact us section of bluedragonuniverse.in, and we'll give credit to that person. Whoever sent the mail, even if it is the answer is wrong, we'll still give credit to that person. That person has attempted. That is what is important. And yeah, next week, look forward to what would happen in similar condition for a term assurance product. So with that, please hit the like button, share this with your friend. The knowledge must spread, and the knowledge, in fact, is the knowledge should be the only thing that should spread, right? And yeah, see you in future videos. Stay tuned for Blue Dragon Universe. There are multiple things that we have planned that are coming, especially in Diwali. There is some big thing coming. Sparkle one is in work, so stay tuned for that.